P Diamond here in Jacksonville, Florida. Troybilt TB30R, and if you have the P90 MTD engine, then you've probably been doing your oil changes all wrong. So this video pertains only to those of us who have the Troybilt TB30R with the MTD P90 engine. One of the ways you can tell that you have a P90 engine is it has the oil filter here, but did you know there's a plug here that apparently you're supposed to remove and clean the pre-oil pump filter screen whenever you do an oil change? Did you know that? I sure didn't. I just happened to be perusing the engine manual because I was doing a valve lash adjustment and I needed to know what the correct clearance was. So I downloaded the engine manual, and as I was reading through it, I discovered that this plug, it's a 15/16 wrench to loosen it. If you can see, but there's a cap here, it has a spring in it and a screen that pre-screens the oil before it goes into the fuel pump, the oil pump. I had to quickly run and get some paper towels because of course I'm making a big mess. And it's kind of awkward to get to because it's right up against the frame of the mower. But there's the cap, and my goodness, I've had this mower 10 years now, so this will be my 10th or 11th oil change, and I've never pulled this screen out and cleaned it. So there's the spring. Yeah, and there's a little, let me see if you can see that. Can you see that in there? There's a little screen. It kind of looks like a hose filter screen. I don't know how I'm supposed to get that out. There we go. Well, there you are. And there's a little bit of, you see that? A little bit of stuff on it, but certainly not bad. But anyway, just so you know, you're supposed to take this screen out and clean it every time you do an oil change. And if you do take it out, just be aware that you are going to have some oil drippage. I'm just going to clean that up real quick. I'm going to take some more paper towel and clean inside. And I'll put the link to the engine manual down in the description, because it's pretty useful if you need to do any work on the motor itself. I'm going to try to put together the valve adjustment video and put that out at some point. I ended up lapping the valves as well, just because I had a, well, it's a long story. I started out with a misfire and I changed the carburetor, and then it still had a misfire, so I figured it might be the valve lash, and between the new carburetor and adjusting the valve lash, my misfire has gone away. and I'll put that video out as soon as I can get done editing it all. And I just was waiting for the time to do my routine annual oil change before I put this out. But anyway, and I'll also put a link to the video I made about changing the oil on this mower, because if you don't already have one, I highly recommend you get one of these guys. They call it the Drains It oil drain tube, and it just threads in to the bottom of the block where the little plug is, and it just prevents you from having the situation where you let the plug out and it just leaks oil and makes a mess all over the frame and drips down everywhere and just makes a big mess. So get one of those if you haven't already done so. Okay, I'm going to leave that paper towel down there to catch the drips. I don't know what that is. Anyway, that was all that was on there after 10 years, so it's probably not something that you need to do with every oil change, but I thought it was interesting that I had never done it, and it was recommended to do. And there's just a spring. Clean that up. It doesn't seem to be sided or ended, so put that back in. The trick is getting around this little nub of the frame, and then that's the cap. So I can't imagine what on earth would be in the oil that would be so important that you would need to clean that. I would have thought that the regular oil filter would have done the job. Move the camera so maybe you can see. And it wasn't very tight. Like I said, it calls for a 15th, 16th wrench. I just used a big pair of channel locks and got it off. What a mess. Anyway, I thought I'd just bring you along, for those of you that have one of these mowers. So, I guess in summary, even though it's required or recommended, based upon, like I said, 10 years of use, and there didn't seem to be, I'm gonna move you just a second, didn't seem to be much build up in mine. I doubt that it's something that you really need to do. And I just snug it. Well, so I guess if you want to be technical and buy the book, then that's what you need to do every time you change the oil. Well, Pete Diamond, Jacksonville, Florida. Thanks for watching.